very special kind of law. It's a higher law. And what that means is that it infiltrates all other laws and policies, laws that have been on the statute book for 1,000 years and laws that are yet to come. And that's what makes it a Bill of Rights.
Well, it's Article 8 that basically says that we are entitled to the enjoyment of our homes, the peace and quiet and enjoyment of our homes. And that means that we, as far as we're concerned, have priority over whether the clubs have the right to make noise.
I mean, an incredible increase in the number of people that come to Soho to kind of let their hair down and have a good time.
The problem is these late night licenses for the bars and pubs and clubs and cafes.
We don't pay enough attention to the effects and sometimes the very serious effects that intrusive noise has on people's psyche.
Well, the Human Rights Act gives people the right to the quiet enjoyment of their homes, which is supposed to exist in English law anyway.
And there's something like 5,000 people who live in Soho, and not many people, kind of realise that.
There you've got a real bread and butter dilemma, an everyday dilemma. And now we've got a kind of code of ethics to try and help us how to deal with that. On the one hand, people do have a right to free expression, to free speech, to party, recognised in the Human Rights Act. On the other hand, people have a right to privacy.
You gotta fight for your right to party!
They do have a right for privacy, for living in an area where the amenities are within a reasonable level of volume. But you're in the West End. People living in the West End, it's always noisy. It's a 24-hour-a-day city.
I've had to move where I sleep because there's now more. The street we're standing in, according to Survey Westminster recently, there's more people walking around at 3 o'clock in the morning than 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I understand that the residents do have a point of view, but I can only be responsible for the people that are on my premises.
And the residual is all the people streaming out into the streets, screaming, ranting, raving, hollering, puking, vomiting, urinating, defecating, kicking in doorways, kicking in shop windows, setting off car alarms.
I can't be responsible for people outside the premises, but I do the best we can. I mean, we do have notices asking people to leave the premises quietly.
What seems to be happening is people take the exception that the worst case scenario is the norm.
I think both sides could make claims, and one of the points about the Human Rights Act is it allows you to make claims where you never could before. The point about the Human Rights Act is it balances rights against each other, and it balances the rights of individuals against the needs of the wider community. And although we do have a fundamental right to free expression, and that can even mean the right to party, it can be limited where it's necessary.
Yes, they have a right to party, but their right to party ends where my right as a resident begins.
We pay top rental rates. Landlords command top rental rates for us to trade, and we do need to trade at night. It's an important part of our business.
You have to apply for a late licence. It doesn't come with right. Now, why do you have to apply for it?
The way the Human Rights Act should ideally work is that cases like that don't come to court, but people begin to understand the principles behind the Act, and it helps them sort out their neighbours' disputes.
From a human rights point of view, we have a right to trade, but obviously we have the right to trade within the limitations of the neighbourhood.
Really, in this country, we haven't had a culture of rights before. We haven't understood the philosophy of human rights. The press just assume that these are now written down in big, bold statements like free speech, right to privacy, and then that means you can basically challenge everything and anything. The philosophy behind human rights is not the same as the philosophy of freedom, but it's balanced against an idea of a common good.